Those of you that follow me here, I know that I make a very, very long videos, but today I figured I would make a video on this because I really broke my mind on it. And as you can see, I got a few tools up here. And obviously, if you open the video, you already know this is for the 2001 to 2005 Civics. That'll be EP3 and EM. All right, so we're talking about the inner tie rods here. And most of you that do have one of these cars or, mess around with them, whatever, if you're doing this as a DIY guy, well, now you got a little bit of an idea of what you're putting yourself with. All right, so I'm going to show you here in the engine bay, all right? So if you got one of these cars, this is a 1.7, the 2.0, which is the EP3 hatchback, is basically same setup. So it's very simple. All of you know that your rack is back here. This is where your inner tie rods are hooked up to, right? I don't know if you guys, let me see if I can stick my camera. All right, there we go. Okay, so this bad boy here is where you have your inner tie rods hooked up to. One on this side and one on the other side there. And this is your rack. Okay, so you can see here, this is your rack, and that's where the inner tie rods come out of. All right, so they obviously, you know, where they go out through, they come out through the side here. All right. So obviously, you basically have no space. Okay. Now, that's the major. I'll show you this. Okay. I don't know if you guys can see that pretty well. This I got off of Amazon. It took me 2 days to get. It's a Sunex 29 millimeter. I'm gonna flip it around. Much easy. You guys can see this is still hooked up to your rack. All right. Take this wrench, put it there, and then I actually had to use both of these. I actually broke it loose with the shorter extension. All right. And I'll show you guys in a bit when I'm going to put it back in, how to put it back in. All right. Now, as you can see, that works pretty good. I also went with a long bar. This you can fit in there, and it swivels. As you see, it's a lot easier to break it loose. I was trying to do it with my 1/2-inch ratchet. It didn't work so well. With this, it was pretty good. This worked pretty good, man. I mean, you put it in there, break it loose. Once you get it loose, just take this bad boy off, and you put your longer extension, and then, you go to town on with your regular ratchet. Very simple to do. I'm about to put the new ones in. So here, what I have is the new inner tie rod and the old tie rod. What I'm going to do is I'm going to basically measure just to have an idea. Obviously, this car, it's gone through everything on the front end. Bushings, trailing arms, control arms. Anything that can be replaced on the front end has been replaced. So that's why we're doing this. And I kind of stumped on this, got stuck for 2 days till I get this wrench. And it worked fine. So, long story short, okay, now I'm looking at my lock nut for my inner tie rod. Okay, these are all new parts. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my lock nut somewhere similar to where it was to stock, so it doesn't run like, some sort of like your wheels are all out of whack. So keep in mind, after you do this, you need to take your car to a alignment shop and have it correctly aligned. Okay, so I'm going to do this here like this, per se. All right, and this is where my old lock nut is. This is the lock nut, and I'm going to thread it out somewhere, give or take, so it sits kind of parallel with the new one. Let's get down some. Okay, now, all right, so now I'm ready to put it back in. All right, fellas, so as you can see, I got that tie rod in there. It goes out through your wheel well. You could probably stick it into this side, but I don't like to work too hard. And start threading this bad boy in here. Need to use nothing else but this right now. Okay, here we go. All right. Oh, there it goes. Just thread this bad boy in here. All right, so now I'm right, fellas. So this has a ring here. So this is the ring that you're going to be pulling off of there. Okay, that is actually on the between the tie rod and the rack, the location where you're going to bolt this off. So this is the old one. Okay, throw that out. Okay, so here you see it's got the little ring in here. We got to keep paying attention to that because it gets lodged in there. Obviously, so with replacement parts, everything is not the same. So ran into a little problem here. All right, as you can see here, this is stock. This is a 2001 Honda Civic, and this has been down there forever. Okay, so as you can see, look at how much space that has on there. I don't know if you can see that very well, but it has about, I'm gonna say, bigger than 3/8 of an inch. Okay, so I had to grind this down. Now this can fit perfectly. I'll show you guys. Okay, I already put on both inner tie rods, and as you can see, it's on there. It works very good. I'll show you guys what I did to it. I ground it down, just picture as a cone. And what I did is, you can see it's wired on the bottom, and I went thinner and thinner all the way till I hit the tip. Okay, that's a better angle there. So you can see it's smaller. I went from, smaller to greater, and it actually fits pretty good. I did it on all 4 corners. I didn't grind too much on here because I didn't feel that I needed to. But fun fact, yeah, I had to grind it. So here we go again. Now I'm actually gonna tighten this. Okay, let me get my little handy dandy tool here. So here we go with this. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the shorter one here. As I just go around until I get to that point where I can't push anymore, because obviously it's in a comfortable spot. Pull up the wrench, pull up my wrench, and okay, so now it's at the point where I need to give it a little torque. I'll pull these 2 off, and I'll get the heavy artillery, which is long bar, and my my little handy dandy wrench here. Okay, so now we can take this off here, put this bad boy back in here. All right, get that bad boy all the way in there. Now, since you have a longer reach, let's make sure that this is tightened. If I can get it in there, it'll be a good story. And there it is. There it is, tightened. I'm gonna give it a little more, just to make sure that it's in there, because I'm really like to make sure that everything is nice and tight. Okay, there it goes. You can see that on there, the way it fits. Okay, now give it the last tightening. This accelerator cable is really a pain. I've taken it off the hook a few times, and that is it. That is on there. So that works fine. You can see I use this. Obviously I could keep on using my normal stuff like this, but it's really a pain in the butt and in the back. So I went to use this, and this works like a charm. Any question, comments, post them on the bottom, and I'll be glad to answer any of your questions.